Let's get to discussing this lesson today. Good best trading strategy. And I believe you are more interested in what trading good and you want to actually understand how good movement works. And that has been your major problem. So in today's lesson, I'll be breaking it down one after the other. How to actually what maximize profit trading just good. So in today's lesson, we'll be looking at what three core concepts. Three core concepts. And the first concept we'll be looking at is what? Top-down analysis. Top-down analysis. So let's get to label all of the stuff we'll be working with. Okay, so number one, top-down analysis, followed by directional bias. And the last concept we'll be making use of in today's lesson is order block refinements. Okay, so you can see what we have here on my screen. So you can see what we have here on my screen here. The first one is top-down analysis, followed by directional bias, and the last option is what? Order block refinement. So this is what we'll be using in today's lesson, and I'll be breaking it down one after the other, so you get to actually what? Understand good and how to actually what? Trade good profitably. Let's go that into the chart. So first we'll be looking at what? Good from probably maybe from a daily perspective, so we'll get to actually understand what the top-down analysis, where is good trading from and where is good heading to. So here we go down to the daily. All right, this is what we have. Let's get to take this off. And the examples I'll be giving in today's lesson are real examples from live trade that I caught, trade I took actually this week. I'll share that at the end of this video. The screenshot and everything will be uploaded at the end of this video. So let's look at gold from the daily level here. So this is good at the daily level, and I just want us to just pick out just major key levels from this particular daily key level. So from the daily level here, we can see we have this break of structure at this level. We have our break of structure, followed by another break of structure at this level here. We have another break of structure, and this was the last break of structure we had on the daily level. Now, looking at this break of structure and looking at this one, you can see that price has already what swept liquidity underneath this low. Underneath this low here, price has already taken out all of the liquidity we had at that point. Where is the other block we were looking at for price to actually come back on the daily time frame? Because we need to get our other block on the daily time frame first. So on the daily time frame, this is the level we want to see price come back into. That was the level. Okay, so this is what we have on the daily. On the daily, we've already gotten our what bias on the daily. This tells us that what we want to see price come back into this level and price continue to the upside. So from the daily, this is what we'll be able to draft out on the daily. It's very, very important to actually understand what the price is actually telling you on the daily level. So now let's step down to the 4 hours. So this is what we have on the 4 hours. Let's get to mark our chart properly. Okay, so on the 4 hours level, let's get to refine this to the proper zone. So this is what we have on the 4 hours, this zone. So let's get to refine this properly. All right, so this is what we have on the 4 hours. That's the 4 hours order block. Let's go to label our chart properly now. Also, we had the break of structure on the 4 hours. We had another break of structure at this level. So at this point, we had this change of character. We have this change of character on the 4 hours. So having this change of character on the 4 hours, what do you want to see? We want to see price return back to this supply level here. This is what we're expecting. So from the 4 hours level, let's look at this. Followed by what? A break of structure at this level. We have a valid break of structure at this level here. So from our top-down analysis, we're able to track down from the daily and down to the 4 hours now. So next thing we have to look at for is this is the 4 hours zone from the top-down analysis. We now need to look at the directional bias on the 4 hours. then down to the 1 hour. So from the daily, the price has turned bullish, and also from the 4 hours, price has mitigated what this demand level, and price is what bullish. So let's get to look at this scenario from here to this point, and I will get to actually what show you those trades I actually took this week using just this simple concept I've just listed before at the starting of this video. So next time you want to open that position, you get to actually what understand how I actually get to trade good, and I'm able to actually what maximize profit from trading good. So looking at this here, this is the 4 hours. This is the last break of structure we had, followed by, if you look closely, you will see we have this low that was taken out at this point. If you get to zoom out, this level was taken out, followed by what? A change of character at this level here. So at this level, we have our change of character. Don't forget, we already have our supply at the top. And if you are going to ask, why don't we trade from this level? This is a liquidity point. If you've been watching my videos or you've been following up with my channels and contents, you will know that what I don't trade from this level, and this level is what a liquidity point. This is what a liquidity point. You need to understand that very clearly, that this is what a liquidity point. So now the next thing we'll do is, we've already seen that price has already changed character at this level. We'll go down to the 1 hour time frame to actually get to see where this market is heading to, because we already have our confluences in place. This other block has been mitigated on the daily, and on the 4 hours we have this supply level, meaning we have a trading range, which is this level and this level. So whatever we are doing, our price movement is target this supply zone. That is the direction we are trading. So our bias, our directional bias is what? Bullish on the 4 hours. We are bullish now. Be able to what? Actually what? Take out this high, come back, then continue. So the next thing we will go now is to look at the 1 hour level. So we step down to the 1 hour at this point. So this is what we have on the 1 hour. Our change of character at this point. You can see clearly we have a valid change of character. Price came back to mitigate this level. So that level was mitigated, and after price mitigated this level, what did you see? We have a valid break of structure to the upside. After having this break of structure, price gave us another order block. At this point, and we can see that what price came back to actually what mitigate this after giving us what all of this liquidity. If you're actually considering this as your order block, then it means you're still the liquidity in the market and you still don't understand what liquidity trading is all about. So do well to check my previous videos on liquidities or other videos on my channel, and you will get to actually understand how to actually trade liquidity concept properly while trading smart money. So already knowing that this is a liquidity point that we are targeting, so whatever we are going to be doing, we are going to be looking for what? Possible buys to the upside, and price actually move to the upside, continue to the upside again. After this price pulled up all the way to this point, price still gave us another push to the upside, taking out this major high that was given at this point. So we can see we had a major break of structure at this point. After having that break of structure, there was a level at this point. We had this level given to us. We also have another level that was given to us at this point. Just make sure you get to stay true so you get to actually understand what I'm about to explain in this next slide. So at this point, you have this other block and you have price all the way to the upside. So coming to this week trading, how I was able to actually maximize the trade, I'm going to show you the screenshot after explaining this video, so you get to actually understand the idea behind the whole setup. So this was a pending order block we had. So if you pull this to this side, what did you see? Price mitigated this. Now when price mitigated this order block, I didn't hop on it immediately. You can see this price didn't actually get into our supply. That means this order block is still valid. I didn't hop on it. Now price gave me what? Engineer liquidity at this level. Price still took it out at this point. You can see this was the last break you had to this point. Yeah, this was the last break you had to the downside. And if I want to label this chart properly, you will see we have a change of character from this level followed by a break of structure at this point. Let me get to label that for you so you get to actually understand. So at this level we had a change of character followed by this break of structure. So that's what we had. We had this other break of structure and this other engineered liquidity. Now look at the zone I actually marked. You can see this zone have momentum. I'm not going to explain that in this particular video. If you want to actually understand all of these concepts, then watch my previous videos on the channel and you'll get to actually understand my criteria for actually marking my zones. So you can see we have this fair value gap, nice momentum to the upside, all of what I want to see, my liquidity, inducement, everything given to me, and price actually gave me all of that, giving me this valid order block that wasn't mitigated yet. Immediately price came into this zone. Look at what I did. I went down to the 15 minutes. Let's look at the 15-minute structure, and that's where your zone refinement actually comes in, or your order block refinement comes in. So when people are still looking out for maybe possible sales from this level and all of this level, I already understood that this is liquidity, because that is one thing I do when I come to mark my chart. I want to understand where are my liquidities. You can see this is a descending low, so I already took that as my liquidity high, this as my liquidity at this level here. Where is my last break or structure to the downside on 15 minutes? This was the last break I had on 15 minutes. And you have this done on 15 minutes. So this is my last break of structure on 15 minutes here. After having this break of structure, what did you see? You notice we have a change of character on the 15 minutes here. So what did I do? When I noticed price has already tapped into this zone, what I did was I moved my watch. I was able to set my order block at this point. This was my order block, well placed at this level here. So I was expecting this price, after giving this push to the upside, this movement coming down here, I was expecting this price to come down into this point before continuing to target the liquidity high. This liquidity high we have here, because that was my target. So what I did was I placed my buy order at this point. This was what I had. Don't worry, you'll get to see the example or you'll see the screenshot at the end of the video. So this was what I had, and my target was to the upside. The target was to the upside. That was the first trade I actually had in mind, but this didn't come to play. So let's move on to the next one. But this is just to explain to you that if you're able to actually understand your directional bias, you will still get clean pips on your trading. So moving to the next one, what was the next setup I was able to get again for this week? I will display the screenshot. Okay, so looking at this 1 hour here, you can see we have a change of character. This level we had a change of character, and followed by we have this break here. We have our break of structure at this level here. We have another break. If you look at the 1 hour, you get to understand what I was trying to explain at the 15 minutes. Now you can see this is liquidity level. So if you actually were looking at for sell this week on a gold, that simply means you still don't understand what liquidity is in the market. Okay, so after having this, we have another break of structure at that level, followed by another break of structure at this level here. So what was the trade? What was the trade idea? After having that break of structure, this one, and this one, if you look at this chart clearly, let's do the 5-second rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what can you see on this chart? Where is the order block? This is my order block. This is my order block. Now, let's get to look at the criteria for our order block. You see, we have this break of structure, and immediately I saw this was my inducement. This was my inducement on this chart. This was my inducement. What did I do? I didn't want to enter on this 1 hour demand level, so I had to refine this chart to think 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So let's get to check that out on 15 minutes, and you will get to see the clean trade I had on good. It was so clean, like so clean. So this was the trade. I went down to the 15 minutes. Let's get to refine my order block. So this was what I did. If you look at that, that was the order block. I was waiting for price to actually come back into and my zone this way. So this was what I had on good from the 15 minutes. So you can clearly see that this level is an inducement point on the 15 minutes. So you see this is an inducement. And the next thing I did was place my buy order here. So this was my buy order, my buy limit, because it was a limit order. Stop loss was below this wick. Stop loss was below this. So it's a clean 1:3 trade. Okay, so this was it, and we have this exactly. So this was the trade. You can see price tapped into it. You see movement to the upside, price pulled back a bit, and what did you see? Take profit. Like so clean. And how was I able to actually get all of this trade for this week? Actually understanding my top down analysis, adding my confluence, my directional bias, followed by zone refinement or order block refinement. So with those 3 confluences, I was able to actually maximize profit trading good this week. So next time you actually want to place that trade on good, I will actually want you or advise you to actually check out this video, put this into practice, backtest this, and let me know your own review in the comment section. I want to meet with you in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Here is the screenshot for the trades for this week. You can see them here.